the key takeaway you want our listener to remember about all of this?
I think this technology is constantly evolving, and so are the threats. But it's not just about keeping up with the latest gadgets or software.
Just got people, right?
Exactly. It's about creating a culture of security awareness where everyone understands the risks and takes responsibility for protecting patient data. It's about educating ourselves, being vigilant, and advocating for stronger privacy protections.
You know, as we were prepping for this deep dive, we came across a study that I thought was really insightful.
Oh, yeah?
It looked at the impact of electronic health records, or EHRs, on data breaches.
Right.
And it basically found that while EHRs have a lot of benefits, they've also made healthcare organizations more vulnerable to these data breaches.
That makes sense. EHRs contain a wealth of sensitive information, and if they're not properly secured, they're a prime target for hackers.
Right. And the study highlighted some of the key challenges that healthcare organizations face in securing those EHRs, things like lack of resources, outdated technology, and inadequate staff training.
It's a reminder that simply implementing new technology isn't enough.
Right.
We need to invest in the infrastructure, the training, and the ongoing support to make sure that those EHRs are being used securely and effectively.
You know, one specific type of cyber attack that I find particularly concerning is ransomware.
Yeah, ransomware has become a major threat across a lot of industries. But it's particularly worrisome in healthcare because the potential for disrupting patient care and even putting lives at risk is just enormous.
Can you explain how a ransomware attack typically works? I think a lot of people have heard the term, but they might not fully understand what it entails.
Sure. So in a ransomware attack, hackers essentially take control of an organization's computer systems.
Okay.
They lock them up and demand a ransom to restore access.
And that ransom is usually paid in cryptocurrency, right? Like Bitcoin?
Often, yes, cryptocurrency makes it more difficult for authorities to track those payments.
Right.
And because hospitals are often willing to pay to avoid disrupting patient care, they become prime targets.
It's a terrifying thought. Imagine a hospital's entire system being shut down in the middle of a critical surgery or a mass casualty event.
Exactly. The stakes are incredibly high, and it's a really tough situation for these healthcare organizations.
Yeah.
Do they pay the ransom and risk encouraging more attacks, or do they refuse to pay and potentially put patients' lives in danger?
It's a lose-lose situation. So what can be done to prevent these ransomware attacks?
Well, it's a multifaceted problem. But some key steps include investing in really robust cybersecurity defenses, regularly backing up data and training staff to recognize and avoid those phishing emails.
Right.
Because that's often the entry point for ransomware attacks.
So it sounds like a lot of the same advice we've been discussing for preventing data breaches in general also applies to ransomware attacks.
That's right. A strong cybersecurity posture is the best defense against all types of cyber attacks.
You know, as we've been talking